2005 World Team Trials. It's Greco-Roman, 55 kilo. It's the if necessary match, the best 2 out of 3, between Sammy Hazewinkel out in the red singlet and Lindsey Durlacher in the blue singlet. Hazewinkel won the first bout. Durlacher came back and won the second bout, and so now it's down to this, the third deciding bout, to see who's going to go on and represent the United States.
Again, just like the last match we just watched here with Lester and Garrison, a lot of action on the feet. These two guys like to get after it, but you know, Durlacher, the more experienced Greco wrestler, really showed his advantage in the clinch position in the second bout. You know, so to bring it to a rubber match.
He really did. Durlacher won their second matchup by the score of 3-zip and 6-zip. And he used that experience, as you said, in the parterre clinch, Jim. Lindsey Durlacher from Colorado Springs, 2-time U.S. World Team Trials runner-up, 3-time U.S. Nationals runner-up, and Sammy Hazewinkel out of Pensacola, Florida, 3rd at the 2004 and 2005 NCAAs. That's in collegiate style, and this is Greco-Roman.
Well, I can't tell you how impressed I am with Sam Hazewinkel moving from you know, competing in the National Wrestling Tournament, NCAA Wrestling Tournament, and a month later, 3 weeks later, winning the Greco. I mean, totally different mindset, style, and going against the best wrestlers in the country and some of the best wrestlers in the world and winning that championship.
That's a good look at Rob Herman right there, United States Olympic coach, here just a couple of Olympics ago, longtime Navy coach. He's probably been coaching longer than Sammy Hazewinkel has been alive. Lindsey Durlacher, the man who's going to clinch first now in the parterre clinch, gets the reverse body lock on Sammy Hazewinkel, seeking the lift and seeking the throw, now moves around behind.
And this was what really put him into the third match here. Set up his expertise in this position right here. Time running out, but he gets the points. He gets a 2-point tilt. Again, Van, right at the end of the 30-second period. There's only five seconds left. Watch the footwork here. Able to step over, step back. Wow.
Popped up with the hips and threw Sammy Hazewinkel and picked up the points right near the end of the 30-second segment in which he had to do that. So Lindsey Durlacher goes ahead 2-0 here in this first period. Now it's Sammy Hazewinkel's turn to put the parterre clinch in.
Sam's father, Dave, and Uncle Jim were both competed in the 68 and 72 Olympic Games as a member of the U.S. Greco team. So, again, another spectacular lift. And Durlacher was able to counter and come back and get a reversal and get a 3-point move. So an exchange that benefited Durlacher greatly. I think it's a 5-1 score now. 13 seconds left in the period.
That was a nice move, a very nice move. A first nice 1-point lift by Hazewinkel, but Durlacher refused to be phased by it and came back and picks up his own. Unable to make the throw there at the end. As time expires in the first period, Lindsey Durlacher wins that by the score of 5-1.
Here you see the lift by Hazewinkel. Immediately gets Durlacher up high, gets the hips over the shoulders, tries for the spectacular move. Again, great athletic ability, belly button to the mat, finds himself in a good athletic position now to go ahead and do the same thing. Great powerful lift here and throw by Durlacher. Feet to the back, that's 3 points.
That was almost a pin on that. If he'd have stuck him on his shoulders, he would have won by a fall. Well, Hazewinkel's ready to get going as Durlacher gets wiped off one more time by his coach, Sean Sheldon. And now we're ready to get underway. Second period. In the final deciding third match between Sammy Hazewinkel, red singlet, and Lindsey Durlacher in the blue. A lot of pummeling. These guys score basically from the parterre clinch more so than on their feet, Jim.
And I just love the format here where we've been able to see all three styles, you know, with the women's freestyle, and which is, you know, it has different, you know, nuances to it, and watching the Greco and just this whole format here, to be able to see that in one venue here in Ames, Iowa, was just a neat thing to be a part of.
Well, my line on Greco really is, if you're not pleased with what you're seeing, stick around, because it's going to change. They take 1 minute on their feet and then 30 seconds each in the parterre position with reverse body lock clinch to start. So we're moving down to the 1 minute mark. It's going to change because we're going to go to the coin toss and see who's going to put in the parterre clinch first, as we're 0-0. Sean Sheldon, New York Athletic Club, looking on from the side.
Durlacher will have his choice.
Sheldon, former national champion, grizzled world team member of his own. He's got the experience.
Durlacher is in the coin flip. He goes to the top position, and Hazewinkel really trying not to stay down there and play defense, try to come back up, much like Durlacher did to him in the first period.
Well, Durlacher wants to turn him, and he does. Put him through the danger position, could not keep him there, so he picks up 2 and goes up 2-0.
Well, that's been the experience of Durlacher here in that clinch position. He really turns it on and able to get the exposure for 2, leads 2-0. It's Hazewinkel's turn. If nothing happens here, it's over.
It's over. It will belong to Lindsey Durlacher, the 2-time NCAA All-American from the University of Illinois, and also the resident athlete at the U.S. Olympic Training Center. Will have gained a spot on the United States team. They come to their feet, but the onus is still on Sammy Hazewinkel to score, or that's all she wrote. We will see a lot of Sammy Hazewinkel down the road. There's no two ways about that.
Oh, he's going to do nothing to get more experience and get better. It just seems to be a little tough for him at this stage. You know, a little frustrating to get to win the Nationals, get the 1 match lead, and then lose the next 2. But the experience of Lindsey Durlacher has been the difference.
But that's exactly what happens. He wins the national championship, Durlacher wins the challenge tournament, and Durlacher comes back and beats Sammy Hazewinkel to earn a spot on the United States team.
See, now you see the tilt position really this was the difference in the match. Is it superiority in the clinch, gets the 2-point exposure. And you got to be a little frustrated if you're Sam Hazewinkel. You win the National Open, you win the first match,
but if you're jubilant, such as Lindsey Durlacher, and your coach comes out, what are you going to do but take him down on the mat?
That's no way to treat a coach.
That's jubilation. Our 55-kilo winner, Lindsey Durlacher, is standing by with our man Matt side, Joe Miller.
You've been so close so many times, you know, runner-up at the World Team Trials, Olympic Trials, you name it. I mean, talk about this feeling right now.
Exactly. You know, it all started way back when I took second at the NCAA tournament back in northern Iowa. You know, that kind of put a little spurt in me, and I just been training ever since I took that second place. So I've always been striving for number 1, finally got it tonight.
We'll be back for more action of the 2005 World Team Trials at the Hilton Coliseum.